This video is essentially a letter to myself, or some pieces of advice and think pieces that I believe would have been useful to me before moving to Exeter, but there was no one to tell me any of this, so I'm here to tell you this. So if you're thinking about moving to Exeter for school, for work, I know an academic session is starting in September, which is this month, and another one is starting in January actually. So if you'll be moving to Exeter anytime soon, this is a video you should definitely be watching. I also drop content on Exeter Living, a playlist that you'd see up there, and just subscribe to my channel to keep seeing content like this. I have so many videos that will be useful for you if you just moved to Exeter, if you've been living in Exeter for a while and you need certain hacks on how to navigate living in Exeter. This channel is definitely for you. I also do videos on skincare, lifestyle and traveling, which I really love. So if these are things you truly enjoy, definitely stay on this channel. I think there's something for everyone, but without further ado, let's get into the video. So guys, I've been living in Exeter for 30 months, but there are things that I definitely wish present me could have told past me that I think would have been beneficial to me before moving to Exeter. I think this video in particular is a really juicy one, but you actually need to wait to the end to get to the juicy parts, because I feel like the one I'm about to say at the end, or I'm going to explain at the end, is one that may be a bit controversial, because people are not accepting of some things, and in the end I'm just the messenger. I don't make the rules about life, but just stay to the end to know exactly what I'm talking about. And when you've heard that point, let me know what you think. Also, most of the things that I'm saying about Exeter probably applies to cities like Plymouth, or some places in Devon, or even places like York, places with that kind of similar setup. So if you're from there or from anywhere in the UK, in the end you may just find this video still applies to you, or it's still very useful. So definitely stay tuned and listen. And the first thing is, Exeter is very isolating. Guys, do not shoot me. I am only the bearer of the news in this video, so there'll be a mixture of good and not so good. But I don't make the rules, it's life, and these are just my observations. If you have any other opposing opinions, let me know in the comment section. Exeter is very isolating if you move here alone, and what that has done for me is that has brought me in a place where I have to make my decisions purely based on what I think. I have to be smarter, use a different part of my brain, if you'd allow, just a different part of my brain to sort of navigate certain things in life as someone living alone in this place that is isolating and is different from everything I've known all my life. So it can be really isolating, but that could also be a good thing in the sense that it makes you stronger, it makes you very independent in a certain way, it makes you think a certain way, it makes you act, knowing that things could have implications for you. You're just generally more aware, and so it's isolating, but that could bring, as much as that could bring a bit of boredom, that could also bring some really good self-development stuff. The second one I wish I would have known, or I would have told myself, or I'll tell someone moving to Exeter, is that I'm choosing a different lifestyle. Bola, dear past Bola, you would be choosing a different lifestyle if you choose to move to Exeter, because Exeter is just so different from everything I grew up to know. I grew up in a city that's really bubbly. I think in the UK I can compare Lagos, Nigeria to London or Manchester, not on the same scale in terms of the fact that I'm from third world country, but in terms of the fact that it's very bubbly, people like to party, people like to have a good life, whereas in Exeter it's more about people like a more chilled lifestyle. People like to camp, people like to go fishing, people like to go to the sea, to the beach, which is something that I would have done, going to the beach sometimes back in Lagos, because there's Lagos Island, but not all the time. But that is the major thing here. People literally move here for that lifestyle, okay? So it's a different lifestyle. If you move to Exeter, it's a city, but people move to the city because it's surrounded by the countryside and the coast. Do you get the idea? So people move here for sort of a countryside lifestyle, but not too countryside because it's a city. So you move here, you're officially choosing a different lifestyle, because you're not going to see the same amount of entertainment. You're not going to get the same type of DJs you get in places like London. Next point is that by moving to Exeter, you would meet loads of people that actually have different perception of life than you do. You meet people that think differently based on just how they've been raised, the fact that they've been raised a certain way, maybe they've been raised more countryside, so their perception of life, the way they think is quite different from the way you think, and maybe a bit of like a shock. But I suppose it's the same with moving somewhere that is culturally different from you, to any part of the world really, where you meet people that are culturally different to you. Just like in Exeter is specific to the fact that many people raise countryside, horseback riding, these things are like normal for them. So the way they think about life, their hobbies, things like that, the way they think life should go is so different, and that could rub on you in a very good way at the same time. In the end, it's all about just being open and like seeing how people think and how you can fit that into your life, and how, you know, you can make things work for you. Going forward, another thing that I was quite surprised about in Exeter is that obviously in life you make friends that sort of like at the same stage at you, maybe age-wise or like career-wise. And in Exeter, when you do that, there is the extra bit of like cultural difference that would shine, especially because there's less diversity in Exeter anyway. So like you are forced to really face the realities of the fact that you and the friends that you'd make will likely have massive cultural differences, and this is something you probably have to work through accepting and just like, you know, understanding like this is the case. So yeah, that's Exeter for you. You meet really lovely people, really lovely friends, but you'll be so culturally different, and you may need to talk through your point of thinking or why certain things are normal to you, and they would also have to do the same. It really goes both ways. So yeah, this is something you may need to learn how to navigate. For me, it was definitely new grounds, and I really needed to be accepting of the fact that sometimes people genuinely just don't know, they genuinely just don't understand, and you have to like sort of be that person that explains it, especially since you're friends anyway. You need to like explain certain things which would normally not be conversations with people that probably from the same background as you, especially like ethnic background. But you know what, in the end it's more fun because the more you learn about different cultures, the more educated you are. So you know, it's great in the end. I do personally find it great, maybe a bit stressful at first, but in the end great because you do learn a lot. I said the number 5 one, which I think may be controversial for some people, is that since moving to Exeter, I've learned to pronounce words very differently, and I've learned to speak differently. This is a personal choice for me because I hate repeating myself. There's nothing I hate more than having to repeat what I just said. So from this video, you can probably tell that I try to stress on words. I try to pronounce words slower than I would as a Nigerian, because I don't want to repeat myself, okay? And I understand that many people are, you know, they're not used to hearing certain accents or certain things. Also, for me, because I work in healthcare, it's quite important for me to pronounce words the right way to people, because I give sensitive information, sensitive instruction out to people, and the last thing I want is for someone not to follow through on instructions because they didn't understand the words I said or the way I said them. So I've just learned to pronounce words in a way that, you know, universally everyone can hear exactly what I have said. And this has been quite helpful for me. Controversial for some, because some people believe that, you know, everyone should be able to understand your accent, but life is not like that. And sometimes you just have to pronounce words differently. You don't need to have a different accent. I don't think so. But I think like sometimes it's important to pronounce words the way that everyone can universally understand what you have said. And that's something that was very important for me, and something that I think self-development wise, it's something that I'd like for myself, so I could speak anywhere in the world and people don't have to struggle because they're not used to hearing certain accents or certain ways that people from some countries pronounce some words. So that is something I'm big on, and that's something that I have personally worked on, but I didn't expect that I would have to do that moving to Exeter, but I've just sort of rose to the occasion and did it. So I would have told myself, dear Bola, you would learn to pronounce words and speak in a way that is very concise. Okay, I hope you have found that very useful, guys. We've come to the end of this video, but there's loads on this channel to see, so I'll definitely see you in my next video, which also talks about living in Exeter, the pros and cons of living in Exeter to me. Okay, I'll see you in that video and other videos as well. Do not forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up so that other people moving to Exeter can see it and can be useful for them. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, of course, because there's loads for you to learn on here. And I would see you in the next video. Bye.